there is a massive police presence here at the Home Depot. We're at the edge of the Home Depot parking lot. I'm going to step out of the way so our photographer here can take a closer look. You can see a number of Dallas Fire Rescue members here looking on here at the scene. And like you said, evidence of a large perimeter here in the parking lot. Very likely that they're looking for a suspect right now. I want to reiterate what Rebecca has just said, that we've just learned that 2 Dallas police officers have been shot and that a civilian possibly shot as well. So people here, we're seeing a lot of witnesses in the parking lot. We're seeing several ambulances. I count 3 at the moment, and a few fire engines too. Members of Dallas Fire Rescue paramedics here walking around the parking lot. We also have a lot of witnesses here, a lot of people who were probably shopping at either Academy Sports and Outdoors or the Home Depot and are walking around the parking lot too. I imagine that police officers want to potentially talk to them, see if they saw anything or know anything about this suspect that they are looking for right now. At the moment, as we were driving up 75 here, we saw a ton of armored vehicles pull into this area, and then also a number of police cruisers too. So 75 traffic at the moment, not going to look pretty good if you're heading north up this way, but everybody is trying to get to this scene. Clearly a very important thing, priority for Dallas police at this moment, as 2 of their officers have been shot.
Live picture coming to you from HD Chopper 8. Again, this is the scene where 2 police officers apparently shot, apparently 2 critically wounded. There's another civilian, we're told, that's been shot.
Well, Dallas police sources are confirming that they are looking for a 30-year-old Armando Juarez, that he is the suspect that they are looking for. Apparently, he had a warrant out for his arrest for theft. When DPD went to arrest him, that is when they claim or allege that he opened fire and that 2 officers were shot, as well as a civilian. And I am told those 2 officers are in critical condition. 1 officer flatlined at the hospital. He was revived, but I am told by multiple sources they do not think that that officer is going to make it. These were rookie officers in their 20s. They were partners. They were covering for an off-duty officer as they were getting ready to arrest this suspect. Obviously, very sad situation here for the Dallas Police Department. July 7th, 2 years ago, they lost 4 officers, and a DART officer was also killed. So that is obviously on the minds of all the officers here at the scene and at the department. They really want to catch this person. This suspect is still on the loose. He is dangerous. They have set up a large perimeter. ATF agents and other agencies are here helping the Dallas Police Department. We'll update you as soon as we have more information. Reporting live, Rebecca Lopez, back to you.
2 things to tell you before we go to break. The helicopter you see there, one of, we think, two police helicopters that have been searching this area, one from the Department of Public Safety, Texas, the state troopers taking a look now, trying to assist in this. And of course, the Dallas Police Department helicopter have been circling this area for quite some time.
And again, we're just learning moments ago now from Rebecca Lopez that Dallas police in search of 30-year-old Armando Juarez. He is the suspect they are after. He is the person they believe shot 2 DPD officers today, along with a civilian. We'll be right back with much more after this.
And for that, we're going to go to our Matt Howerton, who is near where they are searching for him and also has talked to some eyewitnesses. Matt, what can you tell us from where you are at?
Yeah, Rebecca, we're actually very close to where this all went down here in the Home Depot parking lot. Behind me, you can see that police tape, a lot of officers combing through the scene here. Above me, want to take a look up here, there is a police helicopter circling around this area looking for that suspect, currently wondering where he is or where they are. We don't have any suspect information just yet. Just this way, we also have a lot of ambulances, paramedics here, all getting some refreshments, also getting ready to go back out here and continue this search. But like I said, at this point in time, we don't have any suspect information. Dallas police, though, we've seen them canvassing this area. There's a lot of vegetation around this Home Depot. There's also a creek behind here. We've seen Dallas SWAT officers with AR-15s, their assault weapons, looking for this suspect at this hour, at this moment. Also here right now, we also have some Home Depot employees who are waiting to be interviewed by police. They're the ones that said they saw this go down, or at least they heard gunshots, and then also saw both of these officers on the ground. We talked to one of those Home Depot employees. They told us this was a frightening moment for them today.
We saw them running out, and there was some commotion going on, and then we heard some shots in the back, and they pulled everyone out, and as far as we know, there's been some people hurt, and I mean, as far as we know, all of the employees have been accounted for, so everyone's so far safe.
Officers here are telling us to be vigilant. One officer here at the front of the parking lot told us, hey, there is a suspect on the loose, possibly armed, possibly dangerous, and we want you to be careful. We walked into this parking lot. We were asked for our ID badges. A lot of officers here wanting to know that they know everybody here on scene and know that they're not a threat. So officers here combing this area, looking at the area where this all went down, looking for the suspect. That is the priority for them here at this moment.
Well, and that's an interesting nugget of information that you had about how the sheriff's office has actually been running enforcement operations out there for homeless people, because then you start to fit that into what we're seeing here, and conceivably there could be homeless encampments in that wooded area that we are seeing there behind the store. Of course, that's just conjecture at this point, but again, every little piece of information that we get on something like this, we sort of piece it into this mosaic to try to build the picture of what has happened out there this afternoon. Rebecca, are you guys near the scene right now? How hard is it, I guess, getting down into there? Because this is of course, next to the busy freeway there, the Central Expressway, and this is a busy time of day. What's it like getting into there?
Yeah, the freeway is backed up and it's pretty busy as we're trying to make our way there. But also, DPD will set up a pretty large perimeter in situations like this. And then you've got to have the special investigative units that are trying to make it out there, possibly the SWAT team headed out there as well. If you have somebody that they believe is not in custody yet, that is a threat to the community, they will set up a pretty large perimeter to try to keep people safe. And obviously, this is a huge concern for any department, but the Dallas Police Department has had so much tragedy after the July 7th, and the officers having, many of them still dealing with the impact of that day. Mm-hmm. I still talk to officers who tell me that's one of the most difficult days of their entire lives, as many of them, some of them that weren't even there, but just the impact of knowing that possibly an officer is injured is very difficult for these officers, coming on the heels of July 7th and what happened there when we lost 5 dedicated officers, 4 DPD officers, and a DART officer. Now, we do not know the extent of any injuries, and again, I am being told by people that are getting information. These are pretty high-level officers that are getting some information about what is happening at that scene, and they are being told from the scene, officers are saying that it appears that officers have been shot, but we are still trying to confirm that, and we don't want anybody to panic because we don't have all of the details yet, but that appears is what is going on there. And to see that kind of police presence and that many officers there, that leads me to believe that some of what is coming in to the command staff and over the scanners is possibly accurate.
Mm-hmm. And Rebecca, we can certainly only hope that if officers have been wounded indeed out there outside that Home Depot in Northeast Dallas, that perhaps those wounds were not major wounds. We do know, you referred to July 7th of a couple of years ago several times now. We do know that since that date, a lot of these officers have gotten improved body armor, and so we will see how this shakes out here in the next little bit. This is still we can confirm just with our own eyes here, a very active search situation. We have seen the police helicopter going beneath our helicopter there over that wooded area, especially there behind that Home Depot. We also saw officers going into the woods there just a moment ago, into that sort of green belt there with their weapons drawn and with a police dog as well. So very active situation. Yeah, go ahead.
Jump in here for a second.
Yeah.
I'm also getting text messages, and again, I said early on that the Dallas County Sheriff's Department has had people out there running off duty, the officers there off duty, as well as having some sort of operation out there dealing with the homeless camp. But they also have security guards, armed security guards out there too. And one of the text messages I just got, it's unclear as to who is shot out there. They believe that there are people shot out there, but I just got a text message from someone else saying that it's possibly to security officers. So again, like I said, this stuff is fluid. We are hearing that there's 2 law enforcement that have been shot, but it's unclear as to who they work for or who they are. That's just, again, fluid information that is coming from the scene as DPD responds out there and tries to sort it all out, and they get their SWAT team and the Special Investigative Unit out there. And but I do know that someone, at least one person, has been transported from that scene to Presbyterian Hospital.
All right, Rebecca Lopez working this one for us. Again, we are following an officer-involved shooting outside the Home Depot there at Forest and Central Expressway. You're watching the police helicopter right now, searching from above. Officers down below are also searching that wooded area behind that Home Depot. Oddly, a DART train just went right through there. But if you can at all, avoid that area around Forest and 75 right now, because they've got a very active scene going on there, and there will be a perimeter set up.
Eastbound Inwood from Harry Hines. Dallas on channel 2.
Inwood from Harry Hines. GPS 101, go ahead.
We just launched, we heard the shot.
He's now exiting towards Inwood. He's going eastbound Inwood from Harry
GPS 101
Hines.
looks like they're calling from channel 3. Last
One is behind the vehicle, northbound Harry Hines, taking Inwood exit.
Inwood, eastbound Inwood from Harry Hines. And now we got, looks like that a unit, Lima 361 behind the vehicle, northbound Harry Hines, taking the Inwood exit. Past Maple. We're eastbound Inwood, past Maple. He is driving contraflow. He's back on the correct side now. We are passing Denton.
Passing Denton.
In Cedar Springs, continuing eastbound Inwood past Cedar Springs.
Down Inwood, passing Cedar Springs.
Lemon is coming right towards you. Lemon and Inwood. Hold what you've got.
What in the fuck?
Parking lot here at Lemon and Inwood. And now we're going southbound on Rawlings. Southbound Rawlings.
Going southbound Rawlins.
Lemon, southbound now on Rawlins.
Parallel to Lemon on Rawlins.
Hedgerow coming up on Hudnall.
To Hudnall.
Turn. We're going to be westbound Hudnall.
Down Hudnall.
From Rawlins. Approaching Cedar Springs now. Westbound, approaching Cedar Springs. Red light. We do have cross traffic to the left. The intersection, continuing westbound Hudnall from Cedar Springs, approaching Denton Drive.
Westbound Hudnall from Cedar Springs, approaching Denton Drive.
Through Denton Drive. Squad in my light right there. He's coming right at you. Hold what you got. Approaching Maple now. And now we're going to be Denton Cutoff. We're going to be northeastbound on Denton Cutoff, paralleling the railroad tracks.
Northeast Denton Cutoff, parallel the railroad tracks.
Here at 343, do you have any elements out there with you? All right, now we're going through a field. Squad's right here that are on Hudnall. Turn around. Squad's on Hudnall. Stop. Hold what you've got. He's coming back towards you. He's going to be coming out on Denton Drive right now. Alpha 36, that is to that other phone. South Denton Drive. All right, he is driving through yards now, and we are on Hedgerow, eastbound. Mark, it will be coming back out on Cedar Springs, guys. We're eastbound Hedgerow, coming out on Cedar Springs in just a second. So all you officers on Cedar Springs, hold what you got. Cross traffic from the left. We're continuing eastbound Hedgerow from Cedar Springs.
Eastbound Hedgerow from Cedar Springs.
He's real close to the address where he lives.
right, continuing eastbound, approaching Rawlings. Next one after that will be Lemon. He's going to be coming back out on Lemon here in just a second. All right, we're approaching Lemon. I'll let you know which way it goes. We're going to be southbound Lemon from Hudnall. And now he crossed over. He's going Dorothy, eastbound Dorothy. That's only going to be one street south.
Eastbound Dorothy.
Into a dead end, guys. He's not going to be able to get out.
Coming up to a dead end.
Out. Well, we're going to be out on foot. He's backing up towards the officers now. Smashing into several cars. He has no way out, guys.
Nation was southbound Lemon and Hustle going eastbound on Dorothy. Looks like they're coming to a dead end.
Guys, so now we have a BP in this vehicle. Rifles are deployed. It's open. He's prone down. He's prone down on the driver's side of the vehicle.
Prone down on the driver's side of the vehicle.
Prone down. Arms are out. No weapons observed.
Weapons observed. Prone out. They're not observing any weapons.
Custody now. Everybody else, slow down. We don't need any more accidents.
10-4. Taking them into custody. 2107. They're taking them into custody. Elements that are responding code 3 reduced to code 1.
Passengers out, being detained as well. Everybody is accounted for.
302, show me code 6 out here.
Officers, slow down.
Slow everybody
Officers,
down.
slow down.
Slow everybody down.
Code to this reduced.
On channel 3. I need all these sirens to get down.
Elements on the 16 reduced to code 1.
0 out.
Elements coding code 3 reduced. Anybody coding code 3 reduced.
Hotel 1. All the way around to every division, please. 1, let DSO know because they still got units running code north on 75.
Can somebody give me the correct location where you guys ended up at?
Channel 3 has 2 in custody.
All right, 406, stand by. We'll get it to you.
Thank you.
2 in custody.
Got Elvis running code also.
No, we're trying to let everybody know we already let DSO know, so they should be shutting it down.
Try to confirm if that's him.
Oh, I am confirming this is him.
Also want to go into a live video look from HD Chop Rate. This kind of gives you a wider perspective on the area that we're talking about. This isn't far from Harry Hines Boulevard, Parkland Hospital. John mentioned the Oak Lawn neighborhood. Well, this is the area that just about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, this man, Armando Juarez, was zipping through in that pickup. He had Dallas police officers in hot pursuit. He was going through yards, really crisscrossing across the entire area. He was speeding through street to street, basically. And I want to take a listen to one doctor from Parkland who lives in this neighborhood. He was actually out on an evening stroll, and here's what he saw and heard as the suspect sped by.
I saw a bunch of helicopters in the air with spotlights kind of circling the neighborhood. See all the police cars coming up, and the street was all backed up. It was a little scary, yeah. I kind of stopped in my tracks. Didn't want to get caught up if there was a live chase still going on, so I kind of stayed put where I was.
Back out here now, a live picture. You can see detectives still on scene here interviewing potential witnesses, neighbors. This Versailles Avenue kind of dead ends down there, so Juarez ended up driving to the end where he really didn't have a lot of options, and when officers swarmed around that area, he actually got out of his pickup truck and surrendered there. So again, still a live, very active scene out here at this 10 o'clock hour. You can imagine that detectives are going to be out here overnight processing this truck, looking at evidence.
Good evening. I am coming back before you, myself and the entire city of Dallas. We wanted to update you. All 3 officers are out of surgery. That is the 2 police officers from Dallas and our loss prevention officer from Home Depot. They're out of surgery, and we're asking for your continued prayers for them and their families. I want to take this opportunity to thank the officers for an outstanding job. All of our support from our surrounding state, local, and federal officers throughout the Metroplex for bringing this individual to custody. They were in the area of Southeast Dallas, and they observed a vehicle fitting the description of the wanted vehicle. They gave a pursuit, and they pursued this individual through the area of Northwest Dallas, where they apprehended him and a passenger, a female, that are both detained and were taken into custody. Mr. Armando Luis Juarez was arrested. He's facing multiple counts, a warrant for multiple counts of aggravated assault on a police officer. He had an outstanding warrant on felony theft as well. Going forward, we will be making sure that this individual is questioned and taken to Lucerne for processing. That's all we have right now. The mayor will speak to you at this point.
On behalf of the Dallas City Council and the citizens of Dallas, I want to thank our Dallas police tonight. They have taken a punch and they've come out fighting, and they've brought someone into custody that we are very, very proud of them. A lot of people worked very hard. Thank you, Chief. Thank you to all your deputies and all the patrol officers out there to make sure that it was safely done, and we got our man. We are not going to take questions because we are now moving into the phase of justice, but we wanted to get back with you and ask you again for one thing, and that is for your prayers for these officers right here. And we've got to pull through together this evening. Thank you, and God bless Dallas. Thank you.
Mayor Mike Rawlings and, of course, the Chief of Police for Dallas, Renee Hall, reporting tonight. The 3 officers who were wounded today, the 2 officers, and, of course, the security officer from the store, apparently out of surgery. That is some good news. Also tonight, reporting that the suspect in all of this has now been brought into custody.
Chief Hall saying he will face multiple counts of aggravated assault on a police officer. He again is in custody. He will be taken to the Lucerne jail. And the mayor, you heard him saying, "We got our man," and asking for continued prayers.
Well, it's so devastating because, I mean, we are all for the blue. We back up the police officers, and I couldn't believe that one of my members of the family would have done that.